if I'm really gonna be honest, there's somebody out there watching over me. I don't know who it is, but I'm gonna burn an incense just to make sure that they're out there. Okay, let's get this started. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another podcast episode of Just Another Teen Life Crisis. Oh wait, hold up. We've rebranded. We have rebranded our title. It is now Just Another Teen Life Crisis College Years. Yes, I know, I made it seem like it was going to be a very big change to the show. But, I mean, hey, it's just extended more now because some people in my inner circle who I personally call like my team, even though like I do this all by myself, but I listen to people's input. They're like, oh, calling it a teen life crisis when you're not a teenager anymore. And you know what? You're right. I'm not a teenager anymore. I'm 21. Who's in college? For possibly the next 3 years. So, I decided to change it up a little bit. I decided to name it the college years. Because this honestly is now, and always has been, the college years of this show. And we're going to keep it that way until I graduate. Or hopefully whenever I feel like I have grown out of it. But however, we are now in a new era. It is called Just Another Teen Life Crisis, the college years. And I am still your amazing little inconsistent host, Kia Purst, aka Chris. And I just want to know, how are y'all living? Because I haven't done this in about a month, and y'all probably wondering why I fell off the face of the earth again, because I said I was going to be consistent. Well, now y'all know me a little too much. I'm not consistent when it comes to my podcast. And you wouldn't be consistent either, because guess what? I'm in college and I got things to do and I got classes to study for. So if you really want to get on my case, back up. No, really, back on up. You don't want to mess with me. But honestly, in all seriousness and all jokes aside, how are we living? Like, I know it's been a minute, but we still got to do that mental wellness check. How are you doing physically? How are you doing emotionally? How are you doing romantically, sexually, socially? All the illies aside. Like, I just want to know how y'all doing. I want to be in your lives. I want to be nosy. I never stopped being nosy either, so that's nothing new. But of course, I know y'all thinking like, why am I still being the inconsistent little badass that I've been recently? Well, guess what? Like I said earlier, college is really taking a toll on me. I've mostly just been studying and passing my classes, which I need to be, because if I'm not, my family's going to get on me. But I'm honestly not doing it for them now. I'm doing it for me. And I put a lot of side projects aside. I know like this was the main project, but I just honestly needed to put this aside in order to study, in order to just achieve my goal in trying to pass all the classes that I am taking. And of course, I'm adding one more class, so I will be taking 3 classes after my spring break in the next couple weeks, and that is going to be harder. That is going to be a whirlwind of surprises that I am not ready for. But hey, we are human and we will get it out of the way and get it done. And then I got summer classes, and then I will be back in the fall. And God, that makes me sound so sad and personal. But it's just a lot going on. And of course, which kind of swings into why this podcast episode today is what it's called, our spiritual journeys, and just becoming more of like a spiritual little hippie now, because I've really been doing some changes in the past month, and that's one of them. Just living my best life, I've been burning a lot of incense and buying a lot of sage and getting a lot of positivity, powerful book remedies and stuff. But we're going to get into that. There's honestly Is there? No, there's no journal entry. There's no side poem. But I have started wanting to put polls and questions for y'all to answer. And I just want to get y'all's feedback on it as well. Because I don't, I'm still new to this. I'm still learning how to do it. I've been doing this for almost a year. I think it's a year next month, which is actually really crazy and very, very insightful to me. Wow, I've been almost doing this for a year. You know what? I might have a 1 year anniversary. Who knows? That might not happen, but it will. Anyways, let's talk. Let's just get into it. Let's get into the vibe. Let's get in. However, I do want to do like a happy little shout out here. Happy Black History Month to all of my Black kings and queens, gays, theys. Like, all of y'all are just like the most amazing people on planet Earth. I actually was going to do a whole podcast episode on like Black History Month and everything, but we might still do that. I don't know. That might be a little special one. Should I do that? I might do that. You know what? Put it on the notebook. Put it on the queue. We gonna figure that out sooner or later. But I just want to say, like, this is our month to thrive. This is our culture. This is our time to just be exactly who we are and not let anybody tell us what to do, and just be the most beautiful, radiant, brown-skinned people that we are. And for all those, I can't even say that because, if you know, you know. If you don't, bless y'all a little hard. But, like, we matter. Like, we do matter. And we are beautiful. And don't let anybody say anything different. That's all I have to say. Because if I said any more, I'll probably get in a little rant. So, we'll look out for a Black History Month podcast episode. Because we gonna speak on a little bit more of that. So, stay tuned. Okay, I know what it's kind of feeling. I know what it's kind of giving right now. And it's like, why are we talking about religion? Why are we talking about spirituality? Why are we talking about atheism? Like, why are we generally talking about, like, the higher powers that we believe in? And to be honest with you guys, this is a topic that's actually been on my mind for a while now. Because, okay, I know what it's going to sound like, but I've joined a Bible study group at my college. I know, it's crazy. Little old me, joining Bible study when I stopped going to church way back when. I want to say back in I stopped going to church in 2018. And because I honestly thought it was like, you know what? I don't really care about the church. I don't really want to be a part of the church. I know what's in my heart. I want to look. It's not like I don't believe in God. I never said I never didn't. But I do believe that throughout all of the, like, religions throughout the earth, of course, like, each religion has a higher power that they look up to. No matter who it is, like, they will look up to them. Even, like, way back when, like, when most countries or most, like, religions were very either monotheistic and polytheistic. Is that the word that I was looking for? Mono and polytheistic? Yes, because the Greeks had gods, and so did the Egyptians and the Romans. They all had gods before they, got converted into Catholicism. Catholicism. Is that the word? I don't know what I'm looking. You know what I mean. Like, Catholic Christianity got, like, all divided, and then most of the people were told that, oh, you have to believe in God or you're going straight to hell. Well, you gotta think about this now. We live in an age where everybody is more open and more accepting and more free and more trying to find the perspective of others, if that makes any sense. So we need to try and see, like, oh, there could be something out there looking over me or watching over me, and we don't know what it is. but we look to it if that kind of makes sense. I am saying, does that make sense a lot recently? But like in my head, like it makes sense, but it also doesn't make sense because we don't know what's out there. And trust me, this is all gonna very much make sense in the next couple minutes, I swear to you, because right now it's not making as much sense to me as I'm trying to say it. But I think as I continue to share like my kind of truth along in it, it will all come together in the end, I promise. Okay, backtrack to story time. I come from a very religious background. Like, my grandmother grew up in the church. Actually, that goes way back farther than just my grandmother. My great grandmother, my great grand, like all the great grands, to my great grandmother, to my grandmother, to my mother, then me, were all raised in the church setting. Okay? Picture this: go to church every Sunday. Sometimes we go Fridays and Saturdays for either choir rehearsal, usher rehearsal, and sit through Sunday service, and maybe sometimes even go to church on Wednesdays for Bible study. Okay? Try thinking about doing that almost every year since you're able to like remember and retain information till you're for like the next decade and a half. Yeah, I know, it sounds a little crazy, right? Doesn't it? It sounded crazy to me, even because half the time, like I was always going to like the religious things. I never really got to have like, I never got to do like hang out with my friends on Friday evenings after school because I would either go to choir practice Saturdays, I would have choir practice or usher rehearsals. So I couldn't hang out with my friends on Saturdays. And then on Sundays, of course, we had church for half of the day. So there was definitely nothing for me to do. Like, I grew up in the religious household. I couldn't do anything without there being God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit taking up my weekend. No offense. Please don't hate me while I'm saying this out loud. I love you. I mean, I love a version of you, but not like... Let me not say this before I feel like I'm about to get canceled. But yeah, that took up a big majority of my life. I stopped choosing to go to church when I was about 17. Mostly because I was going through a lot of mental things anyway. So like, let me just cut some things out of the way. And then my family thought like, oh, since I wasn't going to church, they thought that I had, like put Jesus on the back burner. And I'm just like, no, I'm just trying to figure everything out for my own self because I don't even know who I am as a person. Okay, speed that up to till about now, actually. I want to say about a year ago to now, where I have trying to figure out, like, where do I sit in the religion basis of it all? Where do I feel like I can connect to everyone? Where do I feel like I am in the way that I am? And that kind of sat with me. I was like, I genuinely do. I do believe that there is a form of higher power out there watching over all of us. I really, really do. Do I believe that it could be God? It could be. Do I believe that it could be Jesus? It could be. Do I believe that it could be like Buddha? It honestly could be. It could be anything out there. And I love that. And I love always questioning, like, what could it be? Or who could it be? And especially as of recently I have joined, like I said earlier, I did join my college Bible study group. And we actually do, like, get into some things. Not like all things, but we just, like, read the Bible verses. And I actually haven't done that in a long time. And, like, not like it being hounded in me, but it just felt very genuine and very just loving and very supportive from everyone. Of course, like when I told everybody that I worked with, they were like, oh, so like after did you make the joke of like, oh, Chris, you're going to hell? I'm like, don't even like play, because like I feel like all of us are just beings on this earth that we're here for a reason. We don't know why we're here until we figure that out in our path of our spiritual ways, if that does make a little sense. And of course, like, as of recently, I have gotten into like spirituality a lot more. Like, I've gotten the incense, I've gotten the sage, I've gotten the herbal remedies, like, because not everything is just like, I know that doesn't make me sound like a hippie. I mean, I love being the hippie that I am right now, because like the incense give me very much like clarity and purification along with the sage, and the sage is just like good, and it just like makes the mental work straight. And of course, like, but the funny thing is, I've also gotten into like, I don't know if I should say this, but I really have like been wanting to dive into like tarot and get like tarot cards and just like, you know, see how the fortune is, or see how like my past, present, and future will be moving forward. Like, I want to get into all of that. And of course, people are going to be like, oh, you're going to do witchcraft now. I mean, even if I wanted to, what's the problem? Like, I believe in what I believe in, but there are certain things, like, that I do have questions, and I genuinely do want to learn on a spiritual level, because, like, I don't know what I was watching, but it was, like, talking about, like, I think it's, because we have, okay, now I remember where it was, because as we all know, some of us have a certain coworker that, you know, gives off very witch vibes, because she be really practicing some shit. And then I'm like, you know, like, I kind of do believe in, like, karma is a big thing that I believe in, but I also want to, like, get into, like, positive vibes and positive energies, not like black magic, but just like the white witch type of magic that just brings goodness and will heal the world in a possible, very much way. And of course, like, I'm a girl, we all know that I am a Cancer and a water sign, and I love the moon. So every time I see, like, ooh, let me just pray to Hecate real quick, because, you know, Mother Maiden Crone is on the line, and I really do. Actually, I do really believe in Hecate, because she's giving me like female goddess, and I love her. She makes me feel strong in my, when the moon is very at its peak. God, maybe I am a witch. Maybe I am just a spiritual witch, and no one has told me until now. Whatever you do, don't tell my mom. She might kill me, but I really wouldn't care less, because this is a journey, and not like I know for sure, but it is very much a journey that I am willing to go on to figure out. And this isn't really like an informative type of podcast episode. I'm just talking just to figure it all out. And even if somebody else needed to hear this, like, we just need to figure it out. Like, we don't know. Hell, I mean, the first 7 days, that's what I remember from the Bible. God created the world. He created the universe. He created heaven and earth. He created literally land, sea, animals, humans. But then also the science involved in it is like, oh, like, you know, planets smash into planets to make the solar system, the Big Bang, the Big Bang, the Big Bang. There we go. That sounds a little more correct. And then, of course, like, back in, I want to say the 1600s, there were the Salem witch trials of people questioning why women were suddenly having their own mind, and they're just like, oh, wait, that's not right. That's witchcraft. And it's just like, no, it's not witchcraft. It could be witchcraft, but Is there really a problem with it? I never saw a problem with it. I mean, it got real bad to the point where I wasn't even allowed to watch Harry Potter or Sabrina the Teenage Witch or anything that dealt with witches and wizards and ghouls and goblins. I was like, the funny thing is, Halloween is when I thrive the most. It's my favorite freaking holiday. And no, it's not because I'm a queer, non-binary human being on this planet. It's because Halloween has always been cool. I've always had like, okay, this is weird, but I've always had like been able to like see things in dreams of like moments where I could like not see the future, but everything that I dream about usually does come true in some sort of way, like a moment of a day. Like, I can't go really into detail because if I go into too much detail, people are going to think I'm crazy. And I don't need y'all thinking I'm crazy, but I do need y'all to like, you know, just a little think about. But I have like had premonitions and visions and seeing, like, I feel like I don't feel like I've had those. I know I've had those because there are a lot of moments where I'm like, yo, I've been here before, like in this exact same moment. And not because like, oh, it's not like deja vu. I know that this has happened. And it's crazy. It's just really crazy. And this is really not going in a straight, narrow path. But I just had to get this out there. It's true. Like, what are we gonna do? I know for a fact, like, I know for a fact, like, I'm more spiritual in my practice than religious or witchiness. I'm just here vibing, burning incense, listening to like the calmest music I possibly could, reading about like how to not only better the world but like better nature, and just give off my positive energies with my crystals that I only have 2 of, that I know I'm going to need more, but I don't. And I know somebody's going to say, like, why are you doing this for aesthetic? Why are you doing it to be, like, weird? I'm like, I just find it very, very calming. I find it very peaceful. I find it very real. And I'm here for it. I don't care if you're not, but I am. I'm not doing this to just do it. I'm doing it to learn, and I'm doing it to possibly tap into that part of me that may or may not have always been there. And if it has been there, then I need to explore more. And even if that's in you, then you need to explore more too. But like, I'm not going to be like, hey, your religion isn't real, or hey, your spirituality isn't real. If there's something that you say that is valid, I'm going to read about it. I'm going to learn about it. I'm going to see what it does for me. If it's not for me, it's not for me. But if it's for you, it's for you. And as we all should just be a part of everybody's journey, including no matter what it is. Okay, on a more little light note than informative note, I just want to say I love you all, and I always say I promise that I'm going to be back and more consistent, but as we all know, never listen to me. I'll be back. I'm taking my time. And personally, I love taking my time because I never know what is going to happen in life. And all I know is I'm going to pray on it, but I'm going to pray in my way. I will do whatever I can in order to maintain this because I want to do this more often for you guys. And I just want to say I already know I said I love y'all, but like I genuinely do, like with the bottom of my heart, like in the pit of my soul, like I do love you guys, and I want y'all to have a great rest of your evening or day or whenever y'all listening to this. And I want y'all to be safe out there in these streets because, yo, this weather been acting up. It may be cold, it may be hot, we never know. Just be safe and much love to all of you. And I'll see you in the next episode. Okay. Bye, guys. Now, part of me gonna pray for a damn drink, because right now I am exhausted and these incense are really getting to me.